What's up, Bulls Nation? It's the Bloody Horns podcast. I'm your host, Justin, here to give you the daily content. So the news broke last night that the Pacers and the Raptors are in advanced trade discussions to send Pascal Siakam to the Pacers. It's a crazy trade all the way around. It should scare you as a Bulls fan on both sides because we got to play the Pacers. They're in our division, and they're better than us. They're just flat out better than us, and now they're only getting stronger. The Raptors, they're 3-4 games back from that play-in spot as well, so they're not too far behind the Bulls, and this trade might make them a little bit stronger too. So it's kind of a scary trade as a Bulls fan. It's a little bit of an optimistic trade as a Bulls fan too, because you see what Pascal Siakam's going for. It's reportedly Bruce Brown, salary filler, 3 first-round picks. That's a hell of a haul for a guy who's approaching 30. His game is on the decline this year. As a number one option in Toronto, he hasn't done shit. They've missed the playoffs, twice in his 4 years being the number one option there. So I was on the Purple and Gold podcast the other day with those guys. Shout out to you guys. That was a lot of fun. We're going to have to do it again. But they asked me about a potential Pascal Siakam, Zach Lavine trade because the salaries match so well. And I said, Pascal Siakam is just like a 6'10" Zach Lavine to me. You're not going anywhere when he's your number one option. If he's your number two option, you got some potential, but both of them have egos like they're the number one option. So I'm not a huge Pascal Siakam fan, but Tyrese Halliburton, he's a floor raiser. So I think he can get the best out of Siakam. That's a scary proposition for Bulls fans, but it's still a steep price to pay. 3 first-round picks, and it depends what that salary filler too is, right? Because the Pacers I think they're $8 million under the cap. So Bruce Brown is making 22, Siakam's making 38. That leaves about $8 million that they got to make up. TJ McConnell, he slides in nice for that, but he's been a really steady backup for them, a really good point guard off the bench for those guys. And Halliburton's out right now, so I don't know. Are they going to throw in Obi Toppin, who makes 6, and another salary filler? Do the Raptors want Obi Toppin? One reason I really like this trade for the Raptors is I'm a huge Scotty Barnes guy. We got to play him tomorrow night, and he always takes that Bulls matchup personal for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because he doesn't like the Patrick Williams comparisons, but he always roasts the Bulls. But I'm a big Scotty Barnes fan. This trade opens up a whole new avenue for him, and now they've added R.J. Barrett, who's averaging 20.7 rebounds since that trade. Emmanuel Quickly's getting a chance to show why Knicks fans were so high on him. And then you throw Bruce Brown into there, who he is the definition of a perfect role player. He's going to come in, he's going to fill his role. So they're going to be a scary team coming out. But what else do they get with that trade? Are they getting a TJ McConnell? Are they getting a Obi Toppin? I don't know what it is, but steep price for the Pacers to pay, but the East is maybe looking a little more wide open to them than it is to the rest of us. It seems like it's Boston, then it's a step down, and it's Milwaukee, then it's a step down, and it's Philadelphia, then it's a step down, and it's everybody else. But Pacers see an opportunity, and they're going for it. So what does this trade mean for the Bulls? Unfortunately, even though I think Pascal Siakam is a big man, Zach Lavine, he does hold a lot more trade value in the league's eyes than Zach Lavine. He's bigger, more of a two-way threat, and his reputation, because they won that championship with him on the roster, his reputation is just better than Zach Lavine's league-wide. So if you're seeing this trade and you're saying, Zach Lavine's going to go for multiple first-round picks now because of this trade, probably not. I don't know really what this trade does for Zach Lavine's value. What it does is it takes another person, the Indiana Pacers, it takes them out of the running for Zach Lavine. You heard them kind of floated around. Zach Lavine, he is the only 3-level scorer available on the market right now. 3-level means he can hit the 3, he can hit the mid-range, and he can take it to the hoop. He's the only scorer like that on the market right now, so there should still be some trade value for him because those kind of guys, they're hard to find in the league. That skill set, it's getting easier to find in the league, but it's still very hard to find. There's a lot of guys who can shoot the 3, a lot of guys who can hit the mid-range. Not a lot of those guys can also take it to the hoop. And even though we have seen Zach Lavine struggle to finish around the rim since his return, I count that more towards just getting the rust off, getting his timing down. We're going to see him finishing at the rim a lot better coming up here. So I don't know what this trade does for Zach Lavine's trade value. I floated on Twitter last night. Is there a way the Chicago Bulls could try to get involved and make this a 3-way team? Because we've heard the Raptors have a little bit of Zach Lavine interest in the past, and Bruce Brown would be a perfect guy for the Chicago Bulls. So if we could do something where the parameters were Siakam to the Pacers, Lavine to the Raptors, Bruce Brown and salary filler to the Bulls, that'd make me happy. It's not going to happen. AK appears to be asleep right now, just like he was at the trade deadline last year. So we'll see, but I don't know what this trade does for Zach LaVine's trade value, but it does make me a little more optimistic that there might be a better return for Zach LaVine out there than what we thought, because this is a crazy return for Pascal Siakam. When that Kings rumor was being floated the other week, I don't think there were 3 first-round picks in that trade, as well as a capable role player in Bruce Brown where you can plug him into any system. So big time trade that might get finalized today. It'd be good for the Bulls if it got finalized today, because then that would take players out of the Raptors rotation when they play them tomorrow, make them a little bit weaker, but we'll see what happens. If you guys haven't subscribed to this video yet, please do, trying to grow the page a little bit. If you didn't check out yesterday's video, I thought yesterday's video was a good one for you guys to listen to. It floats 3 different trades, one involving each of the mid 3, because we got to make a change. Tonight on Twitter, mark your calendars, 7:30 Central Time. Me, Mo Banks, local Bulls fans. If you're not if you're not following those guys on Twitter, throw them a follow. But we're hosting the Twitter Spaces. We're going to break down exactly what the Chicago Bulls should be looking to do heading into the trade deadline, and we're gonna obviously be interacting with everybody that tunes into the Spaces. So if you got anything you want to hear from us, hop in that Spaces. Let's talk Bulls. Check me out on social media. The handle's the same on all the social media pages: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @HornsBloody. Throw me a follow. Let's talk hoops. Let's hope this deal gets finalized today and we get kind of a clearer market for Zach LaVine going forward.